Welcome to Honey of Knowledge. Every player I is doing the best he can, given that the other players are not moving from their strategy choices. Then we have a Nash equilibrium. Of course, you can say that there are computers to do that, but there are smarter ways to perform that same task. So let's look at what's that way, and that way is the way of linear algebra or matrix algebra. And what I mean a mental map is try to encapsulate the entirety of economics into few lines for microeconomics, few lines for macroeconomics, few lines for statistics, few lines for maths, and in this way you can have a good revision done in your mind so that just a day before exam you don't need to look into all your notes and books. You just have a mental map of all the concepts, that all the three states of the world were considered equally likely. We all have faced interviews, and we all know that interviews are not the perfect ways to select candidates. And I have been in both sides of the table. I have taken interviews and given interviews too. So I feel that there's a need to model this problem mathematically. So find a teacher whom you can respect and trust religiously. Will an apple seller consume more apples if price of apple rises? Essentially, there are two steps to finding out the best routine for you and settling down with it. Welcome to Honey of Knowledge. This is Ashish Gaurav, and today we will be talking about a new kind of an equilibrium concept, blockchain Nash equilibrium. Now, this Nash equilibrium, or rather equilibrium concept, is used in smart contracts. Why budget line can't be a curve? Now, the thing here is I'm just having two goods, or rather, I'm changing my analysis to only two goods. And once you have two goods, price of one good is P1, price of second good is P2, the amount of money you spend on good one is P1x1. The amount of money you spend on good 2 is P2x2. You sum them up, and sum of it should be equal to M, your total income which you have in your pocket. Now, how would you get a curved line from this? You could have got a curved line if every unit of a good which you bought had a different price, and the thing here is it should vary continuously, or else you would not get a curved line, because for a budget line, or rather a budget curve if you may, to happen, your price differential should change at every point. So if I'm buying 100 units of good one and 20 units of good 2, the prices I am getting for good one and good 2 has to change suddenly, rather not suddenly, has to change at every point. If I go delta ahead, then I need to pay different for good one and different for good 2 till I am paying the same for good one and good 2, and I would be more general here, till I am paying the same ratio P1 upon P2 for good one upon good 2. I will be on a straight line, and rather on the same straight line, because technically what I am doing over here is I am changing my consumption of one good and substituting it for the next good. But mind you, this is on the budget line, which means I'm exhausting my income. So I haven't gone to utility preferences side to understand what is marginal rate of substitution. But what we do know is what is the opportunity cost, or rather what is the mathematical limits to buying. Because if I set the price to be fixed at P1, P2, it means that the moment I buy one less good of good one, I am getting P1 money to me. So I can use that P1 money to buy something else. And if I need to buy one more unit of good 2 has a price of P2, which means one unit of good 2 is costing me P2. So I need P2 to buy one unit of good 2, and P1 is the amount of money which will be freed up if I sell one, unit of good one. So this ratio will never change because my prices are fixed. So P1 upon P2 or P2 upon P1 is not changing, and that is the reason why budget line is not curved, and that is why we say it as a budget line. Now there could be situations, rather it could be a topic of research. You could do a PhD research on this, that let's generalize the budget line to be a budget curve, and let's change the price P1 upon P2 continuously, and then you can definitely do a bit of calculus on it. And I think this will be an interesting exercise. But as of now, for our level, we would not be talking about curved budget lines or other budget curves. We will be just restricting ourselves to budget lines, which are straight lines. Now, why do you need to prepare for CAT for PGDBA is because a lot of questions in PGDBA is similar to CAT questions, and a lot of questions in PGDBA is also similar to JEE questions. Take up a statistics book. I'm not recommending a good statistics books as of now. I would probably link a good online course on statistics because there are many resources available online too on statistics. So I will try to find a good online course or a good YouTube playlist on statistics and provide that link in the description box of this video if possible. Or just take a good statistics book which you have right now with you and start reading these topics: expectation, variance, then nth moment, then also read various distributions, continuous discrete, their PDF, PMF, CDF, and then you can jump on to hypothesis testing, what is p-value, and things like those. So this was a brief idea on the various kinds of financial products which we have: fixed income, variable interest, then insurance products, and then risk management, to club all these three together in one basket. Cryptocurrencies are not only a very lucrative source of investment, but they have a lot of intricate math involved and a lot of cryptology involved in that. So today we will be talking about something known as cryptographic hash functions. Now, what exactly is a hash function? Know both the things. I work on both the things. I understand there are few things which are better performed in Python, and there are few things which are better performed in R. So it's ideal that you know both the things, R and Python. But again, I like to stress on the fact that tools are not important. Your concepts are important, because if you know the concepts, you will get it implemented using few lines of code, because there are many people who are working on the code part of R and Python, or let for that matter any programming languages. So if you are a statistician, or you're a statistics student or economics student, you should not worry about learning programming languages like a software engineer.